talk a little bit about the reason we exist, but I'd like to give you an example of why we exist. This is not going to be a museum that's a collection of hardware. It's a collection of ideas, a collection of institutional memory, a collection of lives that in some cases went unrecognized during the lifetime of the individual who experienced it. It's about the past, it's about the present, and it's about the future. This organization is dedicated to that. What we are doing today is to conceive of an idea that is basically aimed at battling an enemy that is as old as civilization. And what is that? The ravages of uncontrolled fire. We're here today to remember those that have dedicated their lives to the task of reducing that destruction to the very smallest opportunity possible. It's an insurmountable, extremely significant operation. Tomorrow, right up to...
How's it going, Ron?
You know what? Today's been one of the best days of my life.
Well, tell me exactly what happened here today and what this is a culmination of quite a few years of work.
Well, there's an old saying that it takes years and years to be an overnight success. Well, we've been working on this for about 5 or 6 years, and we finally opened and dedicated our National Fire Heritage Center today as a portion of the Frederick County Fire and Rescue Museum. So we're pretty proud to be here, and we launched it, and we had a lot of people show up to say they support us, and as far as I'm concerned, one of my better days.
So tell me, this is this is a collection of ideas and stuff, not of badges and fire trucks like the one we're standing in front of.
Yeah, the National Fire Heritage Center, we call it preservation of the perishable, because what we're trying to collect are the papers and the correspondence and the books and the narratives, the reports and things of this nature that have been done by individuals that have advanced the state of the art in the fire service. And so our theme is not hardware. Our theme is ideas.
Okay, so I guess you had donations from all over the place. And can you tell me about a real special display here?
We have donations coming literally from all over the world. We've had people come back to us. Now, one of the one of the displays we have today are 3 logbooks who were at ground zero on major emergencies. One of them was Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. The other one was the Pentagon on September 11th, 2001, and Shanksville Fire Department on the same date. And our theme is that every time there's a major disaster, there's a neighborhood firehouse that's first due.
So that's kind of history, and I understand this is the first time that Pearl Harbor's actually been on display somewhere?
First time anybody's had it on display literally in years, and we're extremely grateful to their department for loaning it to us.
Okay, so it'll be here for a little while, and then...
Yes. Okay. It'll be here for a little while, and then we're going to box it up and ship it back.
Okay, Ron, thanks for your time, and congratulations on a great dedication.
Thank you very much. Some of you may not ever recall this, but at one point in time in the fire service, we didn't have a 911 system. I'll believe it. At one point in time, we didn't have fire alarm boxes. What we had was what? Communities. Communities in which people surrounded each other to help each other when time got severe. And how did we know that there was an emergency in our communities? Whenever someone created a fire, someone would step out on the stoop of their house and they would start shouting at the top of their lungs, "Throw down your bucket! Throw down your bucket!
Fire! Fire!" For the king.
Well, thank you, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Oh, excuse me, yes, sir.
Benjamin Franklin, I do declare.
Yes, indeed.
Well, rumor has it that you organized a group of people because of a fire that occurred in your neighborhood a long, long time ago.
As a matter of fact, when you called, I was thinking of the Fishbein fire, that horrid fire in Philadelphia that destroyed the wharf. And, of course, that couldn't happen now, but at the time when you're asleep and you're thinking fire, that's what I was thinking. And that was a dreadful fire. We had never seen anything like it in Philadelphia. But as it happened, we we thought about it, and we thought it should never have happened. It was a beautiful evening. There was no reason that the wind would whip up a flame. But we were not prepared. And so it was so important that we get together and we discuss and we talk and we plan and we purchase. But we had our first fire company in 1736. And so that fire should never again happen.
So we're going to preserve the past, we're going to live in the present, and we'll do everything we can to alter the future by raising the level of education and by being as scientific and systematic as we possibly can be with that knowledge.
Absolutely.
Right here, as we approach this, we're now dedicating this museum, the National Fire Heritage Center, for the past, the present, and the future of the American Fire Service.
With me today is Chip Jewell, who kind of came up with this idea of historic preservation.
Hi, Susie. Well, it's actually a team effort. The museum itself has been an idea we've had in Frederick County for well over 30 years. And in the process of developing the museum and getting the building, Wayne Powell, another local firefighter, approached me from the National Fire Academy of the Heritage Hall White Paper, which was a need to preserve the nation's archives. So we worked together. We formed a partnership. The museum has about 2/3 of the building, and the National Fire Heritage Center has about another 20%, 25% of the building, so that actually both of these partnerships in preservation are in one building, right in the heart of the nation's fire service here in Emmitsburg.
So people at the National Fire Academy can come down and see it?
Yes, we'll be closed over the winter, but after January 1st, we will actually be trying to schedule night hours for the classes from the Fire Academy, and then from April on, we'll be open during the weekends during the normal museum season.
And you have quite a bit of Frederick's firefighting antique history here.
Yeah, the museum really is intended, the museum part, of Frederick County. Some of the oldest companies in the state of Maryland and really in the nation are in Frederick County. So we actually have artifacts from the early 1800s, and probably the oldest indication we have is a copy of a lottery ticket from 1764 to buy the first engine.
Is that right? So can you tell me about one of the historic pieces here that fought a fire?
The engine, the hand pumper behind us is called the Old Lady, and it was originally owned by the Mechanical Fire Company No. 1 of Baltimore City. It was bought by the United Fire Company in 1860. In 1861, during the week of a meeting of the Maryland legislature in Frederick, the legislature voted not to secede from the Union, and mysteriously the courthouse caught fire the very next weekend, and the pumper behind us actually fought the courthouse fire 150 years ago. And this year, when we had the 150th anniversary, several of our members, Frank Schmersall and Jim Ridgely, several others, actually worked on this pumper, bought the piston covers, the leather piston covers, had them made, and we actually had them in pumping condition. And we had a bucket brigade, and we threw water on the same building that she did 150 years ago.
That's super. So so this is a collection of both antique apparatus and pictures and stuff, as well as documents.
Right. The museum itself is the artifacts. That's the museum part, which is the Frederick County, for the most part, Frederick County Fire Service. And then the National Fire Heritage Center section is really the beginning of the National Archives, with a lot of books and pictures and any kind of archival material. And they actually have a lot of it stored in other locations. We've simply already run out of room. We're new and we've already run out of room. So they have a lot of the archives. They're starting to get collections from individuals that were pertinent to the fire service education, industrial firefighting. So they're starting to take the collection of these individuals and save them and preserve them, so that not only the students at the Fire Academy, but really any student of the nation's fire service or really the international fire service have a place to go to do research.
Hi, with me today is Wayne Powell, the Executive Director of National Fire Heritage Center. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Susan.
I understand you have quite a display here. Tell me about it.
Well, we're very proud to be the part-time, let's say, caretakers of some incredible pieces of history. For the very first time since December 7, 1941, the logbook of the closest Honolulu fire station to Hickam Field in Pearl Harbor, that logbook is in our museum here today. And like is typical in fire departments, big and small, it starts off as a typical day, and they're counting the laundry and who's on leave and that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden you see the world as we knew it changed. Interestingly enough, with the Honolulu Fire Department log from 1941 is the Arlington County, Virginia log from Station 10, the first news station at the Pentagon. Also in the display case from the Shanksville Volunteer Fire Department in Pennsylvania is their run sheet from that day. Not here today is the logbook from the 10 house, Engine 10 and Ladder 10 in New York City. They are looking frantically for that logbook, but can't find it. And the mission of the Heritage Center is to preserve such things so that they don't get lost. And the New York City Fire Commissioner has been so gracious to try everything possible to find and get it here. Hopefully they will find it. But it makes the point, it underscores the need to have a special effort on preserving the thing that the men and women of the fire service sometimes overlook. We get caught up in the hardware issues and not the written word. So we have from Pearl Harbor, we have from 9/11, and then hopefully these kinds of things will now begin to migrate here or be available electronically so that people can access them by way of the National Fire Heritage website.
And this is a long-awaited opening today.
Yeah, I'd say, as you know, we began this journey over 10 years ago, and it has had its ups and downs, but I think we finally arrived, and we were delighted to have such a huge crowd here from all over America. And other people are asking for the immediate overview, the documentation, the articles and such things, because they want to follow what's going on. We had a number of people bring donated items in today, historical materials. We have others who have committed to send us materials. And so there's a whole mechanism for how people can preserve their heritage of their fire department, their fire protection organization, their firefighting family, people that have been involved in fire research or the written word of fire protection, building codes, fire insurance. That's all part of our American fire history and legacy. So we're privileged to be the caretakers, and already the tempo, as you've seen, has been just magnificent. We're really honored with what's taken place and all the support. Thank you for being the legendary media rep on behalf of everybody else in the fire community around America.
Okay, Wayne, thanks for your time today.
My pleasure. Thank you, Sigrid.
Appreciate it.